Good morning, Alan, Emma, and Elliot. We are going to be continuing our work on solving equations. Today we're going to move on to equations that have multi-steps, and we're going to be working on page 40 in your Kumon book. So, what you'll notice about these equations, the biggest difference between these equations and the ones we were working with before is that these equations have more than one step to them, so they're going to be a little tricky. Let's look at the first example together. We have 2x minus 5 equals 7. And remember, with these, our goal is to get the x by itself. But what you see is today we have a minus 5 with the x. We first are going to deal with our 5, and then we'll deal with our 2x. So, we have been working with inverse operations, and we know that the first thing I need to do is get rid of my minus 5 by adding 5. So I have 2x minus 5 plus 5 equals 7 plus 5. Okay? Minus 5 plus 5 equals 0, so I'm left with 2x equals 7 plus 5. What is 7 plus 5? It's 12. Okay, now, in your Kumon book, they're doing this with fractions. There's also another way you can do it. What are we doing here with our x? We're multiplying, and we know that in algebra, we're going to use the inverse operation. So what's the opposite of multiplying by 2? Dividing by 2. We're going to divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives us 1. 12 divided by 2 gives us 6. X equals 6. And if we plug it back in, 2 times 6 minus 5 equals 7. 12 minus 5 equals 7. And that is true. So our equation is also true. Should we keep going? I think we should. Let's look at number 1. Can we look at that together? 3x minus 2 equals 10. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is deal with this 2. We don't want to deal with this 3 because it's kind of stuck with this x until we can divide. Okay, so the opposite of subtracting by 2 is adding 2. So we're going to add 2 to each side. 3x minus 2 plus 2 equals 10 plus 2. Well, this is going to cancel out to 0. And I'm left with 3x equals 12. Okay, well, I'm multiplying by 3. What's the opposite of multiplying by 3? Dividing. X equals 12 divided by 3. X equals 4. Now we got to plug it back in to check our work. 3 times 4 minus 2 equals 10. 12 minus 2 equals 10. That is correct. Should we keep going? Let's keep going. Okay, let's try number 6 together. Okay, number 6 is 3/5 x minus 4 equals 2. Okay, so x minus 4. So what's the opposite of subtracting 4? Right, adding 4. 3/5 x minus 4 plus 4 equals 2 plus 4. Minus 4 plus 4 is going to be 0, so we're going to say goodbye to that. This is going to be 6. I'm left with 3/5 x equals 6. Okay, so right here we have multiplying by 3/5. Well, what we really want to do is divide, because we want to do the opposite, which is dividing by 3/5. So I have 6 divided by 3/5. This is going to give me 1. But now, when we're dividing something by a fraction, we're really multiplying by the reciprocal. We're left with x equals 6 times 5/3. X equals 10. And if I plug 10 back in, 3/5 times 10 wholes minus 4 equals 2. 6 minus 2 minus 4 does equal 2. We are right. 10 equals x. Okay. Now, if you look on to page 41, we have something different. So let's look at that together. This time we have double. We have our extra step is actually x's, so we're going to do something a little different. Let's look at the example on the top of this page, and then we'll solve number 1 together. 6x equals 4x minus 10. Okay, so what we want to make sure that happens is that all of the x's are on the same side. And right now you have x's on this side, and you also have x's on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and move all the x's over to this side. Right now we have a positive 4x. So what's the opposite of positive 4x? Negative 4x, or subtracting 4x. So I have 6x minus 4x equals 4x minus 4x minus 10. Well, 6x minus 4x equals 2x. We learned that when we were simplifying. 4x minus 4x is 0. Negative 10. So I'm left with 2x equals negative 10. Okay. Well, I'm multiplying by 2. What's the inverse operation of multiplying by 2? Dividing by 2. X equals negative 5. Plug it back in. 6 times negative 5 equals 4 times negative 5 minus 10. Okay? That's negative 30 equals negative 20 minus negative 10, or plus negative 10. Negative 30 equals negative 30. We are right. Make sure in these works that you're checking with your algebra by plugging the answer to the variable back into your equation. For one more practice, let's look at number 1 on page 41. 5x equals 2x plus 6. Okay? So once again, similar to the equation we just did, we have x on both sides. And since x is by itself on this side, I'm going to go ahead and move this one over. Okay? I have a positive 2x to make 0, negative 2x. 5x minus 2x equals 2x minus 2x plus 6. 2x minus 2x is going to give me 0. 5x minus 5x is going to give me 3x equals 6. What do I need to do next? I need to divide both sides by what? By 3. X equals 2. Plug it back in. 5 times 2 equals 2 times 2 plus 6. 10 equals 4 plus 6. 10 equals 10. And that is correct. Okay, so hopefully this video is going to help you on pages 40 through 41. It is getting more challenging. It's only going to get more challenging, but I know you guys are up for the challenge. I love you. Make good choices. Remember who you are. Bye.